Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by, here we go, guys, singer, actress, author, philanthropist, talk show host, part of one of the most famous families in musical history, legend, gay icon, dancer, Broadway star, and let's not forget Nutrisystem Ambassador. What is my life? The one and only Miss Marie Osmond.
David, seriously, you crack me up. I have never had an intro like that in my life.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Marie. Which of those is not true? They're all true.
You're so David, I have to tell you, look.
Yes.
She went to close the door. Look, she's crawling on the floor. So she's not in our background.
Listen, do you know when people, the one comment about my show and that people love, they're like, it's like two friends talking. So we're very relaxed here. So
it's true. I believe it. You're so fun. You have this energy that leaps off the screen. It's awesome.
So, I mean, if someone wants to crawl around on the floor, Marie, listen.
Hey, look, I'm a realist. I just show you what's going on behind me, okay?
I love it. I love it.
I the screen and showed him. She's crawling along the floor. I know.
Tell her it is true. I saw her crawling on the floor. Listen.
Yes, he did. Okay.
You got to do what you got to do. Well, how are you today?
Don't you think people want that? I just think, I just believe in being real and honest and authentic as, we're in such a crazy time in our lives anyway, that I think we need humor and joy and reality and fun and get back to just common sense and positivity, right?
Kind of. I mean, listen, some days I have it all together and it's all wonderful and fabulous. And some days I'm a big old mess. And this is life, right?
That's a positive comment because it's truth. And nobody has perfect days. If people say they're having perfect all the time, they're lying because it's not true. But you can find joy even amidst the storm. It depends on your mindset.
I totally think so too. I absolutely agree. Well, listen, I want to talk all about this partnership with Nutrisystem and how you got involved. But before we get there, I would be remiss. I mean, I have you here today. When you look back at this 6-decade career of yours, I mean, the beginning when Paper Roses went to #1 and when you were touring with your brothers, do you have vivid memories of the very beginning?
Oh, I remember at age 3, having my first costume fitting with Rhett Turner, who Rhett Turner gave Bob Mackie his first job. Rhett Turner worked with Ray Aguion, who dressed Judy Garland and all of the legends of that time. And it was a mint green dress with feathers and silver shoes and gloves and this diamond necklace. And I remember my dad picking me up and putting me on the stage to walk there. That was my first memory. And I remember hearing about the red lights out in the darkness, and those were the cameras. And I did rehearsal great. Everything was good. The day we taped, all I could do was goo because I was finally with Andy Williams and I had the worst crush on this guy on the planet. And all I could do was sit there oh, I love him. And I'm like, oh gosh, Marie. But I remember it yesterday.
Wow. I mean, you have a really good memory. That's amazing. I can't remember.
No, but just those little short, vivid, I remember Japanese commercial. I remember doing shows and singing in Swedish at age 6. Paper Roses, I was 12. And I remember flying to Nashville and Sonny James, he was legendary in country music, more hits than anybody, was my producer. And I went in to meet him and I was so excited. And then standing next to me were the Jordanaires, who did all the backgrounds for Elvis. And it was all live, 60 some odd pieces in the room. And I don't know, those are life-changing things how do you forget that, right? Totally. And I remember throwing up because I was so nervous. So yeah, crazy.
Wow. Do you remember, because Paper Roses was such a big hit, it charted on all the Billboard charts. Do you remember that moment when you went from, a quote unquote, your brothers were in the business before you, that normal life to just instantly famous? Was it instant? Did it feel instant or did it feel like a gradual build?
No, because I was always the novelty. Oh, look, there's one sister and she can sing too, folks. But it wasn't until I was about 10 that I said, okay, you know, if I'm going to do this, I want to work hard at it, not just be a token, you know, performer in the family. And that's when I was about 10 and a half, 11, when I decided that I would work and decide to do country. And I did a song called Coat of Many Colors, which was Dolly's song. And that Mike Curb heard that. And anyway, it was kind of a weird thing how it all happened. But we were in Paris. I don't know if this is interesting, but we were in Paris and I was walking down the Champs-Elysees with my dad. I was almost 13, or maybe I was just turning 13. And he came over to me and he goes, "Hey, your record just went to #1." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, and on multiple charts." And I was like, "What?" And he said, "It's your birthday coming up here," because we shared the same birthday, my dad and I. He said, "Pick out something for your birthday and you're going to wear it and perform Paper Roses at Madison Square Gardens." We were flying back from Paris to Madison Square Garden to perform. And so I remember I picked out the outfit, and it was this gold necklace that I got, and I still have it framed in a thing. But yeah, I remember thinking, what? And I remember walking on the stage at Madison Square Garden. And back then, do you remember? Well, you're too young, but remember the cameras that had this cube flashes?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I walked out on stage. I was like, Marie. And there was all these flash cubes thrown at me. And I thought, they hate me. And it was love. They were trying to get your attention. But it was just crazy. Yeah, it was really fun.
Do you have a favorite song out of all of your songs, or is that like asking you to pick amongst your children?
Exactly. Yeah. Especially when you're talking. I mean, I'm so blessed because, I mean, David, I've had a chart record every decade of my life. To say that is like insane. So every decade is very special to me in some way, whether it was the original, you know, country music that I started with, and then the Donny Marie era. And then I went in and did country music again and had a lot of wonderful success. And then I came back and did it again and did another thing with Donny. And then I did my new album, which, you know, debuted #1. And so I'm just like, I just honestly, it just really, it's very emotional to me that people are still interested in me after all these years. And it touches my heart. And maybe because I'm an only girl, and I just, there's this connection that to have so many female fans is beyond, it's unusual for a woman to have so many female fans. And I just love them. I just love them and I appreciate them. And I really love my male fans too, don't get me wrong. But I've just enjoyed the entire ride, going into Broadway and doing all of that. And, you know, King and I and Sound of Music, every era has been just an incredible experience.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you're getting emotional here today, which, by the way, you wouldn't be the first person to cry on the Behind the Velvet Rope podcast. We have had people cry before. Listen, this is, Marie, this is a safe space. So you just feel free to cry if you need to. But I did also see on your Instagram, you got emotional like at one of your shows recently. Cause I mean, Unexpected debuted at #1, your latest album. Like, so I mean, it sounds like you've already answered my question. Like that isn't, it's not like I've won a CMA. I'm Marie Osmond. I'm a legend. It's still shocking. Like it shocks you.
Of course it does. I mean, my gosh, that particular thing I posted, a fan caught it out in the audience, and I reposted it because I was told right then on stage that it went to #1, and it just took it took my breath away. It was just like, what? That was Unexpected, which is the name of the album, which I just got this from Nutrisystem. They gave it to me Unexpected, which I thought was so sweet. But life is full of unexpected moments. I truly believe one of the things that I said about this project is the album Unexpected is I like to do the things to take the things that people expect us to do, to take that and shove it aside and do the unexpected.